Energetic, youthful, and growing like mad, this Pacific Rim city mixes tradition and modernity with exotic, dynamic results.
Next up, Shanghai on Smart Travels.
Smart Travels is a grand tour of the world's great destinations, the people, places, and unique local flavors. Now, tips, trips, and secret places on Smart Travels Pacific Rim.
Shanghai is a city being born. Skyscrapers burst from the ground at an amazing rate. Trendy shops, restaurants, and bars materialize overnight. The city buzzes with youthful energy, tangled traffic, and bazaars that sell everything. But down a little alley, at early morning under a willow tree or in a hidden neighborhood market, traditional China, the Shanghai of old, brushes up against the modern.
Shanghai is a city of some 20 million people. Crowded and congested it is, but perfectly manageable for the traveler. Safe, colorful, easy to navigate, and a shopper's paradise, Shanghai is swiftly becoming the new Hong Kong and a symbol of China's growth in the 21st century.
Our exploration of the city concentrates on three main areas: the waterfront, or Bund, the Old Town, and the shopping street called Nanjing Donglu. Then we venture outside the city to the gardens of Suzhou and an exquisite canal town, Zhouzhuang. Growth in Shanghai in the past decade has been dizzying. Every week, older sections of town are raised to make way for gleaming skyscrapers. More than 5,000 new high-rise buildings have gone up. Thousands more wait on drawing boards. For all the mind-boggling changes, the people of Shanghai carry on, holding on to tradition while welcoming the modern. At once timeless and serene, entrepreneurial and savvy, the people embrace their new city with pride and affection.
Shanghai experienced an earlier heyday, albeit under foreign occupation. During the 1920s and 30s, the city was famous for its dynamic growth and prosperity, as well as for its gangsters, drugs, and nightclubs. The expression "to be Shanghaied" came from the practice of drugging sailors and throwing them onto ships leaving the city.
Set on the delta of the mighty Yangtze River, Shanghai was an isolated little fishing port until the British opened a trading post here in 1842, exporting exotic goods home and importing opium from India. Stately European-style buildings sprang up on the riverfront known as the Bund. At its height, the city thrived and became known as the Paris of the East. But the party ended when the Japanese invaded during World War II. In 1949, the communists marched into the city. For 40 years, Shanghai slept, to be awakened again in 1990 when China's leader, Deng Xiaoping, declared the city open to trade. Money came rushing into the city from the central government and then from local and foreign investment. Shanghai began to prosper.
All of Shanghai loves to shop. Exotic tea and grocery stores, Western franchises and teeming bazaars fill the streets. And everywhere, young women sweep along with shopping bags and boyfriends in tow.
The main shopping street, Nanjing Donglu, stretches west from the Bund. A pedestrian-only shopping area makes a colorful, intriguing adventure.
Ni hao. How do you do?
Dispensary number 1 is a pharmacy with some wild-looking cures.
what do we have here? What is this?
It's Chinese caterpillar fungus. It's for lung tube.
Chinese caterpillar fungus
Yeah.
for the lungs. Let me see. Could we look at one?
Next door, food store number 1 offers up mounds and mounds of fruits, candies, meats, and vegetables. Figuring out exactly which is which can be challenging. The western end of Nanjing Donglu grows upscale, with elite shops that the average Chinese worker can only afford to look at. Still, the streets are thronged with eager shoppers, Shanghai's youthful, growing middle class.
Taxis in Shanghai are clean, safe, and extremely inexpensive. It's the way to get around. The only catch is most drivers don't speak or read English. So get the concierge at your hotel to write down the destination in Chinese, and away you go.
Good guidebooks will also have a list of Shanghai destinations in Chinese characters.
Ni hao. Here I'm going to right there.
I'm headed for tea at the Yuyuan Bazaar. Tea began in China. The Chinese domesticated tea plants 5,000 or 6,000 years ago.
In Shanghai area, the most popular tea is that green tea. The function of oolong tea can for digestion, also can for lose weight. We say oolong tea is a slimming tea.
Lose weight?
Yeah, lose weight tea.
Pour me a big cup.
Oh, I will give you that.
In addition to drinking green and oolong tea, the Chinese drink a variety of flavored teas. The most dramatically beautiful is jasmine tea that blossoms when steeped in hot water.
Why is one Romeo and one Juliet?
And the long shape is Romeo, the round is Juliet. The Romeo, the red flower hid inside, and Juliet is a white flower hid inside. Different shape.
Romeo and Juliet are jasmine-infused tea leaves wrapped around flowers. Romeo has a slightly stronger flavor than Juliet. The Yuyuan Theater Tea House is located in the center of the Yuyuan Bazaar, a bustling shopping area loaded with souvenirs for tourists. Shanghai's best dumpling shop, Nanzhong, is here, serving up thousands of fat steaming rolls to hungry customers. Yuyuan attracts dumpling lovers, sightseers, and local musicians. It's a crowded, friendly, spirited scene. Yuyuan's traditional architecture is charming, but recently built. For genuine antiquities, there's no place more stunning than the Shanghai Museum, which opened in 1995 to international acclaim. The Chinese name for their country is Chengkua, or Central Land. For many centuries, China was the most advanced civilization on the planet. The country has an amazing 4,000 years of unbroken history. The museum's bronze collection includes food, wine, and water vessels, many 3,000 to 4,000 years old. The larger water vessels were used for bathing, as a mirror or to hold ice to chill food. The collection includes ancient bells that could produce 2 tones when struck with a wooden hammer, and drums used in rituals. Jade, or the Stone of Heaven as it's known, dates from the Neolithic period in China. A sacred stone, jade accompanied the dead on their journey and served as a link between the spiritual realm and earth. The color varies from green to creamy white, depending on the amount of iron in the stone. Jade was thought to possess healing and even magical powers. In the Neolithic age, pottery was developed in China when people baked mud on baskets to harden them for food vessels. Using fine white kale and clay and baking it at a higher temperature, the Chinese further developed the art of pottery by inventing porcelain some 1,500 years ago. The sculpture gallery focuses on Buddhist works. Buddhism was introduced to China with the opening of the Silk Road around 200 BC. At first a minor cult, Buddhism soon flourished because of its simplicity and resemblance to Taoism, an indigenous religion popular at the time. Modern-day Buddhism is on display at the Jade Buddhist Temple, just north of downtown. Buddhism is experiencing a renaissance since China relaxed restrictions on some religious practices. Both a religion and a way of life, Buddhism teaches self-awareness and a love of wisdom. The Jade Buddha, for which the temple is named, is an exquisitely jeweled statue, serene and slightly bemused. It was brought here from Burma in the late 1800s.
Jade Buddhas, silk, fans, fake designer goods. You can find just about anything in Shanghai's dynamic markets. Now, bargaining isn't just a good idea, it's expected.
Yeah, how much
Here's
is
the price, I see.
I did $7.50 last time. Why don't we try
Put on a cuff t-shirt.
Socks? No, I'm okay.
Market
Thank
shopping
you.
is a blast in Shanghai. The sights, sounds, and aromas are enticing. From the antique market selling Mao memorabilia to the bird and flower market. Past and present mingle in a typical energetic Shanghai stew. Try to find one of the neighborhood food markets in the atmospheric Old Town that's rapidly disappearing as more high-rises shoot up.
Jiha, could I have a dumpling?
Dumplings steam away, eels writhe in plastic tubs, and peasants from the country sell the biggest zucchini I've ever seen. At Shanghai's fashion market, tailors whip your favorite cloth into a jacket.
You can make this in one day. Unbelievable. Last price of $1,200, down from $2,500.
When bargaining in any market, start at 80% off the asking price.
Let's talk about a deep friendship discount.
And if you settle around 50% off, you've done well.
No? That's not the only kangaroo plot in the world.
Tucked down a small street with skyscrapers looming overhead, a little piece of Old Town China survives in a cricket market. These intense shoppers aren't looking for pets, but rather for the strongest cricket for fights. There's no gore, the winner simply backs off the more cowardly cricket.
Oh, this guy, let's see if we can irritate him into fighting. These guys are serious. Oh, he's backing him into a corner. Flips him, try to flip him over and pin him. There we go. This could go either way, I'd say. Dumplings for breakfast? How about lunch or dinner? The Shanghaiese love their dumplings. But you can find any kind of cuisine from anywhere in the world in restaurants all over Shanghai.
Zapu Road, not far from the Bund, is the locals' lively street of restaurants. Many of the restaurants include some English on the menu.
You're gonna find this at your average fast food place, double boiled brain with strong smelling. And we get the boiled brain that isn't strong smelling. Look at this menu, this is phenomenal.
With a sense of adventure, you won't go wrong. Well, not too wrong anyway.
I don't know how we'll ever order it again because we don't know what it is, but sure is good.
For a sure bet, the concierge at my hotel suggested this happening restaurant in the Xintiandi section of town. Shanghai cuisine is a mix of traditional dishes from nearby provinces. It often involves a complex savory sauce and chicken or fish. Owner Yvonne Han describes Xinji Shi's specialties.
There's one crab, a very famous called hairy crab.
The hairy crab from the lake outside Shanghai?
Yeah, from Yangcheng Lake.
Right.
We take the shell out, then cook the meat, then steam with the egg white. That's, more healthy, tasty, delicious.
Oh.
Yeah, and it looks great too.
Four- and five-star accommodations in the city are plentiful, and new hotels burst skywards all the time. Mid-range accommodations are more difficult to find, but as tourism grows, so do the options.
A reasonably priced luxury hotel is the Shanghai New World Radisson, conveniently located near the Nanjing pedestrian shopping area, the Shanghai Museum, and the Bund. Most hotels offer buffet breakfasts with the stay, and many of Shanghai's fine restaurants are associated with hotels. Further west along Nanjing Road, the impressive Shanghai Center is home to the five-star Portman Ritz-Carlton. Rooms vary from classic deluxe to lavish suites. And at the spa, guests can experience traditional Chinese massage or acupressure. On Saturdays, local musicians often play classical Chinese music in the lounge. The concierge desk at any fine hotel can book everything from excursions outside the city to an acrobat performance. It's a valuable service when you can't speak or read the language. Shanghai acrobats juggle, tumble, and fly through the air at the Shanghai Center nearly every night. Acrobatic arts began as a folk art as early as 200 BC and later became a favorite of the imperial courts. Swallow diving, an acrobatic tumble through hoops, dates back 2,000 years and imitates the graceful flight of swallows. Physical strength and mental focus characterize the Shanghai acrobats. Their balance and timing derives from the Chinese philosophy of Qi Kung that stresses manipulation of energy, or Qi, through breathing and meditation.
One of the best shows in Shanghai is hanging out at one of the bars or restaurants in the Bund and watching the lights go on. If Shanghai by day is colorful and lively, by night it's electric.
Another excellent way to take in the city lights is by boat. Shanghai is one of the world's largest ports, and cargo boats, as well as scenic tour boats, regularly cruise the Huangpu River. With its people's love of color, excitement, and shopping, it's no wonder Shanghai has one of the most dazzling nighttime skylines. It's day for night here in the city that never sleeps. Neon abounds, and I never could figure out when the shops finally closed. The next morning, well, every morning, some of the locals are up at 6 a.m. These are not the revelers of the night before, but likely their grandparents. While young people now belong to trendy athletic clubs, the older generation turns out in droves in city parks to practice the ancient art of Tai Chi. I wonder, will Shanghai itself know grace, balance, and good health in generations to come?
Balance and proportion are the fundamentals in traditional Chinese gardens. We've left the big city behind and driven an hour west to the city of Suzhou, famous for its classical gardens. With 1 million people, Suzhou is hardly what you'd call a small town.
Yet once inside one of the dozens of gardens, the city slips away. Chinese gardens frame nature, capturing it through windows and mirrors. Trees, ponds, and rocks are delicately arranged so that each scene is a fusion of art and nature. The art of making gardens was exported from China and Korea to Japan in the 6th century. Many of these gardens were originally laid out in the 16th century. Twists and turns and hidden views keep the visitor perpetually surprised. The pavilions were designed for contemplation, for reading, drawing, meditating, or playing musical instruments. One can spend hours here admiring a detail or framing a delicate scene from inside a latticed bridge or under an archway. Zigzag bridges protect the pavilions from evil spirits that the Chinese believed could only travel in straight lines. The silk industry created Suzhou's wealth. Suzhou's silk factories afford a glimpse into the precise process of boiling cocoons from silkworms, then spinning the fine threads onto spools. You can also see how cocoons themselves are stretched out to make comforters and bedspreads. This is the place to buy silk. The prices are much lower than in Shanghai. The quality is guaranteed, and there's no bargaining. This area of China is known for the Yangtze River towns. Laced with canals, Little Zhuang lies between Suzhou and Shanghai. Incredibly picturesque and evocative, this is a trip back in time some 900 years. 14 stone bridges span the canals. Boats ferry passengers along the waters, and ancient houses line the shore. Chinese tourists have flocked here for some time, but Zhuang is relatively unknown to foreigners. Like a jasmine flower in water, Shanghai is blossoming. Tradition and the modern world merge and mix into something wholly new. Whether it's shopping, acrobatics, nightlife, or Tai Chi, the people of Shanghai embrace life with great joy and zest. Whatever Shanghai becomes, it will remain colorful, vibrant, and spirited. Shanghai leaves you with a smile and a determination to come back again soon.
Well, I've been Shanghaied all right, and it may well take force to get me to leave this crazy, fun, endearing city. From China's dazzling new powerhouse, I'm Rudy Maxa, Sai Jian.